Hey guys, so some people asked me to share a little bit more about my fast in the desert. It was quite a few years ago. I was basically traveling the world, and I made my way to Mount Sinai in Egypt. And people are telling me about how Moses and Jesus fasted in the desert for 40 days with no food or water. So, in my mindset and my mentality, if someone else can do it, if they can do it, I can do it as well. So, basically, with that being said, I was in Oman. I walked into the Omani desert till I couldn't see any people. It was just all desert. And I just sat down and I just sat down on the earth and I watched the earth spin. And I just watched sun turn to moon and sun turn to moon. And I just watched all the stars in the sky. I brought water bottles with me just in case. And I put them all down in front of me so I could see. And yeah, for 14 days, I just sat there with no food or water. The first few days were super easy. And then it started to get harder. It started to get hard at about seven days. And the no food it was easy. The no drinking was hard. Yeah, and I wasn't much of a meditator. I didn't do any research on what it would do to my body and stuff. My understanding before going it was what media said, that you can only go 3 days without water, and media lies, like you guys obviously are aware of. And I knew I could go longer, so that's what I did. It was absolutely amazing. I reached a part where I dissolved myself totally. And basically everything I was seeing, I was. So I literally became the heavens. I became the stars. I became every grain of sand. All these animals came and visited me in the middle of nowhere. There was eagles, and then all these goats and stuff. And a bunch of other animals and stuff too. And everything that I saw, I was. Like, I am everything. And you come to realize that you are literally consciousness or God. I am that I am. Everything. God consciousness. Consciousness is in every single thing. It's even in inanimate objects. And that's what you are. The ego thinks that it's this form and this person and this and this. But when you awaken, you realize that literally you are everything. And during the meditation, it was amazing. I could taste fruit in my mind more vividly than when I actually ate it. And this was after a few days. Yeah, I remember in my mind's eye, I could taste watermelon and cherries, and Okanagan cherries are the best. And I could taste it so vividly in my head after a few days of fasting. At about 7 or 10 days, a bunch of Bedouins came and found me. And basically they were like, you have to go. We're bringing you back to civilization. I said, look, I'm staying here. If you guys bring me, I'm not eating, because fasting's against their religion and stuff, is basically what they were saying to me. And I was like, no, like, look, this is what I'm doing. Whether you like, I'm just going to fast. There's no stopping me. And then and then they left. It took a lot of energy to talk to them and tell them about this. And then they came back at 14 days, and I was so skinny then. I was like maybe in between 80 and 100 pounds. And when I started, I was at least 150, 160. So you could see like all my ribs, my face, my cheeks were all skinny. My eyes were like sucked in the back of my head. No muscle on my body. I did not look good. My face was all cut up from the sand and just always being in the sun. And then the wind and the sand would cut up my face. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I don't recommend it to anyone. But for my life and my purpose on this planet, it was totally worth it. Like I said, I got to a point where I dissolved myself, and I realized that I am everything, and that you are everything as well, and that we're all part of the one cosmic creation. So at the 14 days, once I was done, 14 days, Bedouins picked me up. They brought me to a camp in the middle of the desert, and they basically gave me some fruit. I remember I think I had an orange and some juice, and it was so delicious, but because my body hadn't eaten in so long, I puked it up right away. And I remember going in the shower and I couldn't get hot. I was like, turned the water on to boiling, and I'm still just shivering in the desert when it's like super hot out. And so what ended up happening was they brought me to a hospital and hooked me up to an IV. And then I was there for a couple days or so. I can't remember exactly how many days. And I healed up, felt amazing, and then just grabbed my bag and started hitchhiking to Dubai. And yeah, so that's the full story and adventure of my fasting in the desert in Oman. Love you guys tons. Have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon.